Good afternoon, I'm Chris Sinachkate. Welcome to APTN National News. Thank you for joining us. Another First Nation person has died in an interaction with law enforcement in Canada. APTN News has confirmed this is at least the 15th Indigenous person to have died during or shortly after an interaction with police since August. According to RCMP, on Saturday, December 14th at around 8 p.m., Cold Lake RCMP responded to a 911 call of an attempted stabbing at a transit stop on 50th Street and 43rd Avenue in Cold Lake. Two officers found a male armed with an edged weapon. RCMP say the officers used what they are calling intervention options, including using a firearm against the man. The man was then taken to hospital and died from his injuries. The Alberta Serious Incident Response Team is now investigating. Farron Atkinson, the brother of the man who died, says he is Matthew Atkinson, also known in the community as Fabian Scanny. Farron said he and his brother are 60 Scoop survivors, and his brother had his own challenges from that life-altering incident. We'll have more on this story in our evening newscast. APTN News has also identified a man from White Bear First Nation in Saskatchewan who died while in custody at the Carlisle RCMP detachment. Community members have identified the man as 49-year-old Rene Jumbo Fiddler. He is being remembered as a loving family man and a gentle giant. According to the RCMP, Fiddler was arrested last Friday in connection with a number of assaults in White Bear. He was taken to the Carlisle detachment and monitored by staff throughout the night. At around 9 a.m., Fiddler was found in medical distress. First aid was provided until EMS arrived. He was declared deceased by EMS. The Serious Incident Response Team is still investigating. In other news, it was a day of turmoil on Parliament Hill on Monday. It started with the resignation of two cabinet ministers, including Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, just hours before she was to deliver the fiscal economic statement. By day's end, a new finance minister had quickly been sworn in, but many questions still remain, including the future of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau himself. APTN's Fraser Needham has more.
I'm still here for now.
The day started with the resignation of Housing Minister Sean Fraser, soon followed by Chrystia Freeland. Walking into a cabinet meeting Monday morning, ministers clearly appeared surprised at the finance minister's sudden resignation. In a letter posted on her Twitter account and dated December 16th, Freeland said she could no longer continue on as finance minister after the Prime Minister effectively told her on Friday that he no longer wanted her to continue on in this role. At a press conference on Parliament Hill, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre said it is time for an election and called on NDP leader Jagmeet Singh to defeat the government on a confidence vote.
Mr. Trudeau is being held in office by one man, Jagmeet Singh. A fifth of Liberal MPs have written a letter for him to resign. His Deputy Prime Minister has walked out on him. His Housing Minister has quit.
Singh also said it is time for Trudeau to go, but stopped short of saying the NDP will bring down the government on a confidence vote.
And so I want to make it very clear, Justin Trudeau has to go. He has to resign. And because of that, all options are on the table.
Late in the day, Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc was sworn in as Finance Minister.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honourable Dominic LeBlanc, the Prime Minister and the Governor-General of Canada.
Government House Leader Karina Gold ended up delivering the fiscal economic statement. It contains a 2-month GST tax break and a $61.9 billion deficit for 2023-24, more than $20 billion greater than what Freeland originally predicted. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.
After nearly 5 weeks on the picket lines, postal workers across the country went back to work this morning. This was the scene at the Gateway sorting facility west of Toronto as workers started to show up for their shift. Their current contract has been extended until next May as talks carry on. Canada Post is warning that clearing the backlog of millions of parcels will take time and that any new mail likely won't arrive at its destination by Christmas. The delays are expected to continue into January. Many of the workers say they're frustrated.
I really have a hard time with a Minister of Labour like I said, who is undermining labor, and a Minister of Public Services who's who's not protecting the public service.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers is challenging the government's intervention in the labor dispute. 55,000 workers were on strike for about a month over wages. The Prince Albert Police Service in Saskatchewan is looking for community members to join their Women's Commission. CTV's Jasmine Pelche has more.
The Women's Commission works with and advises Police Chief Patrick Nogier. They are currently looking for community members to join the commission.
To work with individuals that represent the community and provide me with a perspective allows me to stay grounded as a chief to ensure that what we're doing internally meets the goals and expectations externally from the municipality that we serve.
Some of their goals are to add more diverse perspectives to policing and to boost positive community engagement. The current commission was established in 2022 and is led by Elder Liz Settee and Prince Albert Police Service Chaplain Reverend Nora Vedras.
There's a lot of a male insight into policing, and with that comes a great deal of value and wisdom in and of itself. But to offer policing specifically a more of a women's view on things, I think that has value no matter who your chief is.
Vedras says they have been using the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, which included calls to justice for police agencies, as a guiding document.
We have an incredible opportunity to do reconciliation here really, really well. And if we're able to even help that in the smallest of ways, then that's an honor to be at that table.
President of the Native Women's Association of Canada, Josie Nepanak, says that the association urges police services nationwide to prioritize the safety of Indigenous women and girls through similar initiatives.
It is critically important to have Indigenous women's voices on police commissions, to bring the gendered lens, but also to bring the lived experience of interactions with police in Canada.
The police service says its current force in Prince Albert is 17% female and roughly 30% Indigenous. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
To the west now, where a clinical trial to treat a rare type of cancer has shown remarkable results for a young patient in British Columbia. APTN's Tina House has that story.
Emmett Doolin is now 2.5 years old and is a happy, playful, and energetic toddler. However, when Emmett's mom Lana was 34 weeks pregnant, her and her other mom Lena were told some devastating news about their unborn baby girl.
The ultrasound tech had told the physician that there was something wrong. There was water on our baby's brain and that we needed to be shipped out as soon as possible. By 11:30 that night, we were at BC Children's Hospital. We'd met close to 30 to 40 doctors in the few days that led up to Emmett's birth.
Doctors did a fetal MRI and concluded that Emmett had an aggressive brain tumor, and at a week old, they said results showed a rare type of cancer.
And they fully diagnosed her with a diffused midline glioma. So she has a tumor that sits on the left side of her brain, and where it sits is right on the middle.
She is one of only 3 in Canada that have it, and because of where the tumor is located, it's inoperable. She endured 2 rounds of chemo and numerous blood transfusions the first few months of her life, but the next rounds would have been life-altering for her.
The next set of chemo would have given her hearing loss, vision impairment, probably even mobility issues. We try to live every day like it's going to be her last, because we never know what's going to happen.
And then a miracle happened. Doctors at BC Children's Hospital told them that Emmett qualified for a clinical trial that was specific for her type of cancer and was intended to target her brain tumor without the side effects of chemo. So at 4 months old, they began medicine twice a day, and it's working. Her tumor has shrunk by 36%. Dr. Quinn Doan is with BC Children's Hospital and says Emmett's case is unique.
Emmett is a little miracle, just how she is, just how vivacious she is, but she's also a miracle because she had a condition that could have been fatal.
Dr. Doan says BC Children's Hospital is looking to expand a super hub that would see more clinical trials for other diseases available for children in BC and the Yukon.
So a clinical trial is a type of study that is looking specifically at whether or not certain interventions work or not, how safe they are. So these are usually therapeutic options that are not otherwise accessible.
Every month, the family travels from their home in northern BC for checkups with doctors, and so far, so good.
At first, it was very emotional, but seeing her grow every day and like hit milestones that she's supposed to hit, it's a wonderful feeling because we never thought that we would see that day.
And Emmett has a message for everyone.
Say peace out, homie.
Peace out, homie.
Tina House, APTN National News, Vancouver.
Coming up next, a young Inuk figure skater from Iqaluit is following his dreams, one competition at a time. That story after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. At just 16 years old, Inuk figure skater Kic Allerton moved to Winnipeg from Iqaluit to pursue his dreams. Over the weekend, he competed in the Gordon Linney Open, where he chatted with our reporter Sierra Bettens about his journey.
As a competitive figure skater, a week in Kic Allerton's life is different for most 16-year-olds.
I'm pretty busy. I'm in school full time. I train 4 times a week. I coach 3 times a week. I do Pilates class every Wednesdays after school.
This weekend's competition, the provincial Gordon Linney Open, is one the Inuk skater has been anticipating for months.
I think, Kenneth and I are really proud of the program he skated today. It's new, there's new elements, there's an added difficulty, and so it's really just kind of the place that we build for the season, and we'll be training through to get ready for provincials.
Allerton started figure skating competitively 2.5 years ago, but his love of skating dates back to his early childhood.
When I was 9 years old, my parents put me into a Learn How to Skate program back home in Iqaluit, Nunavut. I was really good at it, and they suggested figure skating, and I tried it out. Turns out I love it.
Back home in Nunavut, a lack of ice time and trained coaches stalled the young skaters' progress. After participating in a summer skills camp in Winnipeg last year, he made the move to Manitoba to access opportunities while living with the Métis host family. Though far from home, he's found ways to incorporate his Inuit culture into his routine.
I choose songs in Inuktitut to also represent my Inuit culture. I'm skating to California Moot from Mississippi, one of my all-time favorite Inuit artists. I designed my costume with an Inuk seamstress from Winnipeg. On the back, we added sealskin to it to represent my Inuit culture. And this fur is Arctic hare from Iqaluit.
His coach, Tina Chen, says Allerton is a gift to Winnipeg's skating community.
Mechanics brought a lot of knowledge about Inuit culture, sharing it with the skaters, and I think being able to see that perspective and know his goals, and so it's just been, Mechanic brings so much to the club and adds so much to our everyday setting, and just his joy of skating is evident in everything he does.
Over the phone with APTN, Allerton's grandmother, Nutsuk Kangu, said her grandson is a role model to many youth up north.
Growing up in Iqaluit and having to witness so much change in the Arctic, so many different things happening in the Arctic, and trying to focus on something that he can show other young people that it is possible to become a role model like him, to become somebody like him.
But Allerton's commitment to figure skating goes beyond athleticism. For him, it's about helping other Inuit skaters achieve their dreams.
My goal is to become a coach, to coach back home in Iqaluit, Nunavut, where there's not that infrastructure to get the training to become a coach.
Allerton's next step is preparing for the provincial championship in March 2025. Sierra Buttons, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
Great job, Kic. A 16-year-old First Nation hockey player from the Yukon is no stranger to breaking records. And now he has another huge accomplishment underneath his belt. Sarah Connors has that story.
Parsani to McKenna in front, he scores!
Hockey star Gavin McKenna is celebrating what he says is a dream come true. On Friday, the 16-year-old Trondukwitchin citizen from Whitehorse was selected by Team Canada to play at the World Juniors that begin next week. He's the youngest player named in this year's Team Canada roster.
This is kind of the biggest accomplishment for me yet, I would say, and it's obviously going to be one I remember for the rest of my life.
McKenna is one of only 8 16-year-olds to be chosen for the World Juniors. That list includes the likes of Wayne Gretzky and Sidney Crosby. McKenna's mother says she couldn't be more proud.
He's wanted this literally since he's been, literally 2 years old. This has been a dream of his, so it's very exciting.
McKenna currently plays for the Medicine Hat Tigers, leading the Canadian Hockey League this season with an impressive 60 points in 30 games. While he isn't eligible for the NHL draft until 2026, experts predict he'll be the #1 pick. Those close to McKenna say he's gearing up to be the next big name in hockey.
I obviously think and believe that he's got a very bright future.
I think that there's no real limit to what he can accomplish. He's got those abilities and he's got that drive.
McKenna is the second Yukoner to play for Team Canada at the World Juniors, the other being Dylan Cousins, who won gold in 2020. Team Canada will open this year's tournament on Boxing Day in Ottawa with a game against Finland. Sarah Connors, APTN National News, Whitehorse.
We have another new web poll question for you this week. Over on our website, we ask, do you think more cultural competency training would help eliminate racism in Canada's healthcare system? Your answers are yes, no, or unsure. Go to our website at www.aptnnews.ca to have your say. We have the latest face-to-face preview coming up, plus a group of dancers from Australia choreographs their own stories. We'll be right back. Starting on the east, Charlottetown 4, Halifax sunny and 7. The Grand River 0, Kuujjuaq -8. Saguenay 3, Quebec City 5. Sarnia 6, London 4. Wawa 2, Thunder Bay -4. -15 in God's Lake, Thompson -16. -10 in Gimli, Barons River -13. -22 in North Battleford, Saskatoon -18. Uranium City sunny and -28, Stony Rapids -25. -18 in Grand Prairie, Peace River -21. -11 in Calgary, -14 in Edmonton. 8 in Campbell River, Kamloops 5. -5 in Smithers, Dees Lake -18. -21 in Beaver Creek, Mayo -29. Fort Simpson -27, Yellowknife -28. Sachs Harbor -19, Colville Lake -32. -29 in Chesterfield, Baker Lake -22. In Arctic Bay -26, Agulik -28. To Australia now, where a group of dancers are getting the chance to choreograph their own stories. NITV's Ricky Kirby got a look behind the scenes before its premiere later this month.
A first look at Bangara's 2024 Dance Clan program. The company continuing a tradition of showcasing emerging artists.
It's a really important program that allows our dancers to be able to explore their own choreographic language, their own themes, and the way that they want to tell their own stories. It gives them the opportunity and us to find the next storytellers.
Yaru woman Lillian Banks and Wiradjuri and Darkinjung man Callum Goolagong have both choreographed original works performed by Bangara dancers.
My work is called Yaru Buru, which is Yaru country in Yaru language. It's about the connection that we have to our country, the people, spiritually, and I wanted to explore the connection physically and the weight of physical force, I guess.
My work is it's called Metamorphosis, and it's pretty much just my interpretation of how, you know, we can shift and grow and change, and how do we mentally and physically, spiritually all try to align and connect.
How we believe dirt and honey.
And in a Bangara first, Gamilaroi and Tongan man Daniel Mateo choreographs and stars in a film titled Brown Boys.
I've always wanted to kind of merge the mediums together, and so these poems are kind of a pool of different poems that I've written, and found the ones that kind of married each other and complemented what I wanted to kind of say, touch on things like identity, connection to land, the holistic care that gives to me.
Dance Clan will run from the 29th of November to the 14th of December.
We're really excited about this program. They're all really distinctive, interesting artists that have found their own unique way of telling their stories, and I'm really excited to share that with audiences and share that with our community, and just for us to celebrate these new creatives coming through.
Ricky Kirby, NITV News.
It's been a transformative year for Mohawk singer-songwriter Shawnee Kish. She became a first-time mom, released 5 singles, received 2 Juno nominations, and was selected as one of TikTok Canada's Indigenous Visionary Voices. Tonight, on an all-new episode of Face to Face, Kish discusses, among other things, her relationship with the Kids Help Phone. Here's a preview.
What I love about them is that it's the emergency call. When you are at the very edge of your last bit of hope, it's the emergency call that you can make just to talk to someone, especially as like kids are so vulnerable. And you know, I remember when I was younger, I felt the weight of the world, but feeling like tomorrow was not an option. And oh my gosh, looking back on it, I was like, oh girl, you have so much life to live, and how at risk I was, and how an important, you know, when you don't have someone in your life that you can call and say, hey, I'm struggling, or a parent or a family member or a friend, and you don't have that person, the Kids Help Phone is there.
And that's your daytime newscast for this Tuesday, December 17th. Dennis Ward is back for your evening newscast in a few hours. Make sure to join us then. From everyone at APTN National News, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next day.